Well, welcome back to Gridiron TV. We're now joined by a very special guest, the chairman of London Blitz, Ed Morgan. Ed, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time today.
No worries, Alan. Thanks for having me on.
So let's, in anticipation of this weekend's big game, let's just talk a little bit first of all about how the Blitz, how the team's been doing so far in 2012. You've had a pretty successful time so far with your European ventures. Team's been working hard and been very busy, but it's successful so far. How do you think that 2012's gone from your perspective?
I mean, it's there's no two ways about it. So far, we've played three, won three. When we knew coming into this year that stepping up to EFL was going to be a huge step up, and I think all the guys would testify to that. The game against Flash de la Courneuve in Paris back on Easter weekend was a massive experience for a lot of the guys. We were playing against one of the most respected teams in Europe, who had a great pedigree, and it was just an awesome opportunity for us to test ourselves as players, coaches, and management at the top level. And and then obviously playing the Pioneers at home from Barcelona. Again, we got a great turnout from the rest of Brit Bowl and everything, and that's really kind of encouraging for us to see as well. So now, obviously, it's on to Berlin next week, but there's the small matter of the Warriors this Sunday first.
Yeah, it's a really much anticipated game. A lot of people around the country are talking about it as the rematch from the finals last year. What are your thoughts and how are the team feeling about it?
It's to start with, it's a crosstown rivalry. There's the geographical thing. The Warriors are guys that are players and members. They see each other in gyms, even bump into each other in the street. A lot of the guys know each other from playing a different level of football, be that some of the guys that were involved in the NFL development program, some of the guys that have played GB together, other guys who played university together. So it's the crosstown rivalry is one thing. The other side of it is that they were last year's beaten finalists. They are breathing down our necks at the moment. There's no two ways about it. They're a really young, hungry, and up and coming team. We've got a lot of respect for them and their coaching staff, and it reminds me a little bit of Ravens Steelers in the NFL. That's the way I'd like to think of it. It's a tough, hard, physical game, and although it's early in the season, there's big ramifications for this. So I'm sure both teams will come out ready to go.
Yeah, like you said, the kind of the friendships and the associations are there, and you see that in Brit Bowl across the country, where guys will know each other from previous teams or live nearby, and they can be friends of it when it's game time. It's time to go against each other.
That's kind of how it is. We're just getting ready for a good hard game, and we know that the Warriors are the guys to bring that to us. So I'd like to think that both teams bring out the best in each other. We've both been seeing how much work the other teams have been putting in, and we're just ready to get down with Sunday.
Yeah, you've come off a very impressive win against Ipswich last weekend. That's no doubt given the team a great amount of confidence.
Last weekend was it ticked all the boxes that we wanted to do. What I have to say is Ipswich Cardinals have got a fantastic setup up there. One that from a management side of view, I'm incredibly jealous of the way that Ralph Alexander has got his club running up there. A real credit to the league. They were struggling a little bit in terms of numbers, and the game. The game was what it was. We got a great opportunity to bring a lot of new and younger players through. We were carrying a few knocks off the back of the European game, and everyone's seen the highlight video out there. I think it was a good advert for Brit Bowl.
So from your position, you're able to follow the senior team, but you're also able to follow the junior and kind of youth setups. Do you think they're in quite a strong position now, and do you think they'll have a good year?
I'd like to think so. Obviously, last year we won the junior flag title for the first time, and also the junior kitted title for the first time. which was a real kind of watershed moment for the club. I think it's very easy for people to look at the team versus the club, and so being a club that was born from a senior team first and then filtered down, rather than the Warriors, which has been the other way to their credit. We've had to work very hard at that, and one thing I can't say enough of is the work that's put in by our flag, youth and junior coaching and management staffs, who are out there at ridiculous o'clock in the morning with these kids that are so enthusiastic. And the amount of work they're putting in, I'd like to think that they could be successful. But they've got a real big test for the junior team playing the Warriors this weekend as well. Two of the leading clubs in the country, and I'm sure it'll again be a great advert for under-19 football.
So certainly yourselves and the Warriors, in fact, have got amazing setups all through the senior and junior levels, and no doubt a lot of other teams are looking at you as role models to try and expand their clubs and their organisations. And given the recent announcements from BAFA to try and integrate youth more with the senior and the Bafana leagues, do you think it's important that teams start to focus more on their youth systems and try and integrate them more?
I mean, to take your first point, Alan, I mean, although like the Blitz are reigning champs and Warriors have won a number of junior titles themselves, there's a lot of very good junior programs out there. And I mean, we never hold ourselves up to be whiter than white. There's a lot of stuff that I know that we can do better as a club, and we're constantly looking to try and do that. Regarding the importance of junior teams, I don't think that's ever been disputed. It can only be good for the game to get kids into the game at a young age, get them in love with the game before, otherwise if we're trying to pick kids up at 18, 19, they've already been exposed to football and rugby and all these other sports throughout their teens, and that's quite hard to break sometimes. I mean, it's obviously it's a big step for leagues to make it, but that's why these guys are in a position they're in, is to make these big calls and develop the game in the UK. And it's that's what it's there for. I mean, the other side of it that can't be discounted has been the influence of the university game in this country. I think very often we're the first to put ourselves down in European American football as a Brit Bowl community and say, oh God, the Germans are here and the Austrians are there and the French are there. And there are a lot of areas where we can learn from them. But I think we shouldn't forget that in terms of a structure of getting in a different tier of university football, we are the country that Europe looks to. I mean, look, there's a lot of things that we could do to improve the standard, but it's got to be there in the first place for us to improve the standard. So I think it's a mixture of just improving football across the board, and there's people have big ideas and schemes, but it all starts with the people running the clubs, the players, the coaches, the management. If everyone does a bit more and tries to do things a bit better every year, every month, if they can try to do things a bit better, then as a Brit Bowl community, then we can really elevate the game.
Absolutely, that's a great point there. Well, thank you for talking to us today, and good luck for your game on the weekend, and hopefully you'll be able to continue success and have another win to talk about.
I hope so. It's going to be a tough game, but we're looking forward to it.